Good morning, good day, good evening. This is YieldMaxMindset coming to you here with year two, week 15 of my portfolio review. And remember, this is not a suggestion to buy or sell. This is just me reviewing what I am doing. You do not have to do what I'm doing. All right, let's get to it. All right, you can see my um, investment portfolio now is at 20,342. It is 12:16 Eastern Standard Time and 11:16 Central Standard Time. All right. Live, we're up $200. For the day, we're up 946. For the week, we're down $2,431. For the month, we're down $9,416. For the past 3 months, we are down $33,429. Year to date, we're down $23,042. The past year, we're down $40,970. And all time, we are down $7,687. All right. Buying power is at 16,000. Available margin is at 57,140. Margin used now sits at 40,873. Our buffer's at 22.25%. Our interest rate, daily interest, interest rate is at 5% because the interest rates has been lowered. I think it was at 5.25 the last week. The Fed lowered the interest rate, cut it down 25 basis point. So we had still, if we were still in the iron 50K to 100K, no, we was here 100K to a million, we will be getting 4.5% on the margin borrow. And as always, the first 1,000, if you're a gold member, is free. All right, available to withdraw sits at $0. So we're not able to withdraw anything at this present time. All right, let's go. Let's review our positions here. Here you can see the total return. And ICOI, we're down $918. So far, we're down $509. Hood, we're down $1,059. ETCO, we're down $1,233, and Netflix, we're down $531. All right, let's see here. I don't think we got any dividends, but we had these lined up. I don't think we had any dividends. So we're going to go ahead and make, this is going to be a quick one then. All right. All right. So our cash account got a total return sitting up here. XRP, we're down $27.47. ICOI, we're down $21.80. Netflix, we're down $94.06. Coney, we're down $12.37. Nvidia, we're down $39.75. AMD, we're down $27.03. Nvidia, we're down $18.60. And Misty, we're down $1.39. All right. For the week here, we're up $6.95. For the month, we're down $99.31. And we don't have enough history for the 3 months. All right. We're earning interest on $395.09 at 3.5%. We've accrued 72 cents for the month. Lifetime interest paid in this account is $2.63. All righty. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let's see if I remember the positions. We got paid our dividends. Oh. Okay. All right. So we'll hit that. First up is our Misty position, MSST. We had 5 shares. We got $22, 23 cents. That was $1.13. All right. Next, we had this here, NVIDIA. All right. All right. So we had 10 shares at 24 cents. That gave us $2.39. Next, we had, wait a minute. Okay. So next, we got Granite shares version of NVIDIA. All right. So we didn't get no dividend on that, but that was last week. So hold on. Well, that's upcoming. And that's what position? Okay. So $9.80 is what it's saying. So I don't know if that was last week, but I'm showing $9.92 is what we'll be getting for that one. But we got paid on the 9th. But I'm not showing the history for the 9th. I'm not showing the history for the 9th. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. Got it. So last week we got paid 39 cents on 25 shares for $9.80. Yeah, we figured it out. All right, the other one was Granite shares version of Coney. All right. 50 shares, 28 cents. That's $14.09. And let's see what else. AMD, I'm missing that one. Oh, no, we just did that one. Did we just do this? No, here we go. 25 shares at 43 cents. That's $10.69. Bingo. All right. All right. So here's our, let's see if we can shrink this a little bit. Let's see. All right. So this is our cash position, our Charles Schwab account. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back up here. Sorry about that. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 position in here. We got Yieldmax Covana. We got forgot the name of who is this by? Grayscale. Okay. We got Grayscale Ethereum. We got Round Hill RobinHood Hui. We got Bitwise ICOI. We also have Bitwise Circle ICRC. We also have Bitwise iETH. We got, I believe this is Granite Shares. See here, this is Granite Shares Yield Boost for IOYY. Right. Um, this is, I believe, Granite Shares version of Marinate. Yep. All right. Morrow from YieldMax, Murning for YieldMax, Misty for YieldMax, Platy from YieldMax, SMCY from YieldMax, and TSYY. I believe that is from Granite Shares. I believe Yield Boost Granite Shares. Yep. All right. So in this position, our total cost base is $9,077. Our market value is at $64.76. We're down $2,600. And in this account, I'm not worried about margin call. Not so much worried about being down in the positions because these positions are here for the bill. The only thing that I would consider doing, and so you see here, my Misty is after the reverse split. The cost per share is 82 um 19. The actual price is 34.29. So if I doubled up that would sort of bring that price down. But I'm not interested in doing it right now because I'm still trying to determine what positions I'm going to set up in my Robinhood account. And I have a concept of an idea of a plan of the positions that I'm going to get into. But mainly the biggest thing is I got SoFi here, I got Hood and Netflix. So those are taking up majority of. So let's see. Let's go to the equity, right? So SoFi is showing 27.29. So it's 27,290. Hood that's showing 11,000 there, and in Netflix. So that's about right at $50,000 because they're down a little bit. So that's about $50,000 in buying power equity. So the plan was to get in those positions, and some of y'all say I don't buy the underlining. So you can see I do buy the underlining at times. But the plan there was to get into those and make a few thousand, add to my cash into this margin account, help bring down my margin, and increase my available margin, and transition from there to get into my weekly or monthly dividends position that I intend to get. I'm still figuring out which ones I'm going to get. Haven't come to a conclusive matter on that. So I'm still evaluating. Um, so as you can see in this account, I have ICOI and ETCO, Grayscale Ethereum. So those are only two dividend positions that I have there. And those two positions are basically monthly. ETCO is bi-monthly. It pays on the 1st and the 15th. So I don't have any really dividend positions in here. Most are underlining. But in the cash account, you can see here I do have majority dividend position, and I just got a small position just holding something right now. Um, and I did withdraw cash out of this account and moved it over into the margin account because I was getting a little low there, so I moved some cash over there. And that's one of the advantages of having a cash account. Boom, you can move that cash over into the margin account to get you by until things recover. All right, now, um, my Excel spreadsheet. Let's hit that. Alrighty. Okay. All right. So I don't think I shrunk this when I did the other. All right. So here, this is December now. So this is where we stand, 2026. Um, all this will get reset, right? This will remain the same. This will stay here. You will still see these figures, but we will start with January 26th. This will change, or I may leave it for a reference. Well, I will leave it because I'll just copy this whole entire sheet and rename it 2026, and I'll keep this sheet here. Whoever will need to refer back to it for any various reasons. All right, so December active income so far for the month of December is at $6,013, bringing our annual total to $52,745. Our passive income, our prior week, last week was $1,759.67. We had, I think, about $114 in dividends, bringing it to $1,873.80, bringing our annual passive or annual dividend to $95,863.31. Right now, it's not looking too favorable that we'll meet that 1,000 goal. Evidently, I probably would have made it had I not got margin call and I sold off to retain my capital. And I still got a chance of making it with that last week of December. Still got a chance of probably making it. That's if my Netflix position, the Hood position, and my SoFi position within the next 2 weeks can actually go up and make me some profit. I can sell that off and get into my uh, positions and make some dividends before the end of the year is out and hit that 100,000 mark in dividends. That would be a milestone for me because last year I think we did about 30 to 39,000 in dividends, and so in essence we doubled 2x, almost 3x what we did up, but then I gave it all back with margin call, right? All right, moving on. So our average active income is at 42.48. Our passive income is at 85.44. Our prior margin balance was $42,637.74. It now sits at $40,873.99. Our RobinHood Gold now sits at $60 for the year, which is $5 annually. Not $5 annually, $5 monthly, right? Unless you do the annual um, let's do the annual pay. Now, I may consider that doing that in January instead of paying the $5 per month. I think it's a small discount on that by paying, making an annual payment. I don't remember exactly what it was. All right. Our average monthly interest on a Robinhood interest, which is 3,861, is $321.76. Our 401k loan is now down to $21,007. All right, our total debt now sits at 238, 282. Beginning of January, that will change because this amount right here, because of the financial situation I am, I did have to go back and start using this card that I had paid off. So, yeah. Anyways, that's where we at. So for the 2025 interest, we've accrued $27,825. That's basically $27,000 we just gave away and wasted. Crime, shame. But we aim to tackle that coming into this year. If we can get things aligned and set up, um, we will, because we need to get this outside debt outside of Robin, not the margin debt outside of Robinhood. That's I held. I had a strategy that was going to get rid of it going into 2026, but as you all know, I got margin calls, so all that got shot up. So, but anyway, we live, we learn. We're gonna get better. All right. So our Robinhood deposit year to date still sits at $1,885.92. Our Robinhood withdrawal from this account now sits at $13,022.15. The month of November, we almost withdrew 1,500, and for the month of December, we withdrew $487. So now it sits at $13,000 that has been withdrew from the Robinhood account. Had that not, then we'll probably be at about 35,000 as a balance, right? All right. So we're probably gonna reset this beginning of January, because really the only big position that we have now is ICOI, which is at $15,000. Um, I think we made more dividends in that. So ignore all this together. We'll get this sorted out. All right. All right. So now moving right along. Divvy tracker saying annual income is 25,000. That's a big drop from 206,000 at one time, I believe it was projecting. And it was projecting I think the highest I can remember was 8,000, maybe 12,000. All right. As you can see here, ICOI, it's saying, oh, it's based in, um, that's the total number of dividends it's paid thus for year to date. Uh, and if you did that times my basis, and if I've had it at the beginning of the year, I would have almost 20,000. All right. So tomorrow we'll be getting, which will be Tuesday, because it's after midnight. Uh, $48.79 from ETCO Grayscale Trust. This is a bi-monthly paying ETF. Excuse me. All right. And so here we are, showing each month what we're projected to be making going forward. We do hope to change it going into 2026, um, because right now it's on showing $2,100, and I think if I can get my underlying stocks, Netflix, Hood, and SoFi, I'll be able to take that and put it into my dividend plays that I'm anticipating using, and that could instantly bump that up to about 4 to 5 thousand per month, which will come in handy for me paying off my debt outside Robinhood. Um, and yeah, so all right, Snowball Analytics, similar. It's looking at 1914, saying over the next 12 months, looking at 22,969. And that's based on the current amount. As you can see, ICUI is saying about 1,600, and everything else are just small positions. So we aim to change it. All right, so we covered that. So man, let's get to our Q&A and we'll be out of here. This is gonna be a short one, right? All right, let's see here. All right, let's get to it. Q&A section for YieldMaxMindset. All right, Mike Lesser. He says, weird Netflix related stocks down, but Carvana ones are popping. I figured both would, laughing out loud. Still, rest of the week, I hope crypto and tech has moved up or ran up. Gotta get them bags, baby, he says. He's gotten 4 replies. I guess that includes me and him, and 2 likes. All right, I said it could be because Paramount plays a bid for 108.4 billion to try to blow up Netflix bid for 72 billion for Warner Brothers. It's a bidding war. And also now that I remember he was talking about Netflix. What was it? Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Kavana. You said it's weird how Netflix related stocks is down, but Kavana ones is up. Now, if I'm not if I'm not if I remember correctly, right? I believe they said Kavana joined the S&P 500. Mm. Yes. So they were added to the S&P 100, and I'm sure that caused it because I remember, Mike, if you're listening, um, I remember it. Carvana was down maybe like 35, $34, and also it's up here, right? So I was like, oh, it jumped because I was wanting to add to it while I was down, right? That's why you always want to buy low, especially if you got a position that you think is going to be good long term. You want to add to it when it's below your average cost. So yes, it says Carvana was recently added to the S&P 500, a major announcement in early December of 2025 that reflects the online used cars retail segment. Um, Financial turnaround and recovery from its near bankruptcy struggles of 2022, giving it access to vast institutional capital. So that was a catalyst that helped the stock go up. Matter of fact, let's do this right here. Mm, mm, mm. Let's do this. All right. So we was talking about last past weeks. All right. So you can see here in the last 5 days, it's up $23.13. Mr. Mike is up 5.3%. And for the month, whoa, look at there. For the month, it's up $132.41. Now, this is where they talk about, well, won't you buy the underlying stock? Yes, it's good to have the underlying stock. If you know which ones to choose and you're doing your homework, boom. If you don't want to do that, you know, there's other ways of making money, right? But it's up $132 in the last month. Um, and a lot of that, let's see, so 1st of December, right? So this is December. So somewhere around here. So it was at 375. So it's basically up $75 if you looking at if I'm looking at that correctly, 375 December the 1st. And right now, so that's like $75 right there. Had you been in this position and had the underlining, uh, yep. So that's how that works. 6 months, they're up 165. Year to date, $256. Yep, I remember this one. People like, I don't know if that's gonna work, but I guess the online, what it says, on the online use car retail segment, financial turnaround. So yeah, but that's the reason why. All right. So Mike says, man, I missed that info. Soon we will know. Um, he said, betcha Netflix offers nearly 130. They are quite large and strong company. I said Netflix down right now, but she should recover once this bidding war is over with Paramount. Gary says, do you use margin? I said, yes, I do. But you already know that about me. At least I thought you knew that, Gary. Thought maybe you hadn't seen all the videos or some of my videos, but I thought you was aware that I was using margin. That's why I got margin call and lost the money that I was potentially going to be making going into 26. We're talking about 15K to 20K per month. Mm, 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 mm. Woo! I missed that. I was going to, man, I was giving it looking forward to 2026. I maybe even cash app y'all of 50 cents or something. All right, moving on. Mike says, loving the comment section debates. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate everybody that's leaving comments, whether you agree or don't like what I'm doing. I appreciate you sharing it. Sometimes good always to have voice of reason, can drop some information. I don't mind y'all dropping information here. I don't mind you commenting on my channel. I don't mind you sharing something that you've um, a strategy that you may have. Some of you are doing calls and puts with options. I don't yet know how to do options. And some of y'all say, well, why don't you do option? Do your own cover calls. Well, I don't know how to do them. I don't know how to do them yet. Don't know how to do them yet. But that's something I do hope to learn in the future. But right now, I'm just trying to get by and pay bills, and so that's why I mainly go for the dividends. I was trying to set that up and get it established, then branch from there, going back to the underlinings, using the dividend money to buy the underline and using the underline to increase the position and the um, dividend positions. and then eventually learning options, um, you know, cover calls, those things. I hadn't got into it all yet because I have so much going on that I can't really focus even on this YouTube channel like I want to, and strategizing on my investments like I want to, because I got so many other things that are happening and going on that um, I'm stretched thin, so to speak. Uh, so, but hey, with the help of the Lord, we're gonna make it. I know somehow, and I know some way, we're gonna make it. With Jesus on our side, things will work out fine. Fine. We're gonna make it. All right, moving on. Um, he said, "Yeah, loving the comments." I said, "That's all because of you guys, the subscribers. You all make the Q&A section what it is." And once again, I appreciate everybody commenting. Whether you like me or you don't, whether you love me or hate me, or you just here and you're a novice and you glean some information. Yeah, because some of you are maybe coming across this channel for the first time. You may be investing for the first time, and you may look at these Yieldmax funds or around him like, wow, okay. Some of us already know that, hey, these things don't hold up well, especially in a bearish market. I have to be honest. Under the prior administration, Coney and Misty, I mean, they were killing it. But 2025, no, they have not been killing it. So they was going so well that, you know, I'm like, man, this wave ain't going in. But everything eventually comes to an end. But I'm looking forward to the wave when it takes off again, and I want to be on that wave. And I do now know that I really need to be disciplined and set my stop limit order. So, for instance, if I bought in at 30, and stock goes up to 38, set me a stop limit in there, and maybe at 33 or $35. Sell a certain portion of all of it. It kicks me out. And if the stock is going to be down, and when it consolidates, get back in, ride it back up, make the profit on the actual position, and collect dividends at the same time. And I wasn't doing it. All right, Mike also says, thank you, Millmax, EOMax Mindset. Thank you, brother. The mix of all of us is like a sitcom. I says, I'm enjoying it, brother. I'm enjoying it. Even though we don't have a lot of comments on this go around, but appreciate everybody. All right. Let's see here. In the Philippines says, I'm not understanding how PLTY went from 130 last week to pennies this week. It closed higher on the past Friday than it did the previous one. Been watching a lot of the Yieldmax ETF, and they sure do seem to be green most of the week, then dip on most Fridays. Closing seem kind of like manipulation, like GameStop and AMC. Not quite like that, right? To prevent better payouts and improving their own profits. Maybe that's just my untrusting nature. Pocket change process, I swear I feel the same, brother. But usually most ETLs will have dips days before the payout. But I do feel like these people manipulate the prices for their own benefit. Now, again, the market, the market, you have to take into account the underlining, right? The underlining position. If they're down, then these positions are going to be down. Then on top of that, on Wednesday, when they announce the distribution, or Tuesday when they announce the distribution, the next day, the price is going to drop. So if they announce it on Tuesday, the price is going to drop on Wednesday. So if they're announcing a dollar dividend for a particular position, the stock is going to drop by a dollar. Now, sometimes it don't hold because of buying pressure or because of the market uptrend. but then you may have the dividend to drop, and if the market is down, it sometimes drops more than $1. And they state that in the prosperous, let you know that hey, it captures maybe only 15% of the upside, and it captures all the downside. People are supposed to be aware of that when they're getting into these ETFs. All right. Let's see here. I said unless there's okay. Here we go again. I think this is what I was saying. Unless there's some serious buying pressure on Thursday, they are definitely going to dip by the distribution amount, and then that would be a carryover on Friday as well with the market turbulence. Kelly says, I don't own any Yieldmax. He says, I don't own any Yieldmax. And I said, hey, that is perfectly okay. Like I tell people and mention to people all the time, don't buy what I'm doing or don't do what I'm doing. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And, because this is me actually journaling my journey to get out of debt. And so far, I haven't been doing a good job at it, right? All right. Next, we got this one. All right. Leo Love 3. He says, you are doing a good job, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing. People like your style. You are going to get big. You are going to get big. So I guess he's not talking about my investment strategy, right? Or my Robinhood portfolio review videos. He's talking about the distribution videos. I think that's what he's referencing to. Um, I do it because some people don't know where to go look. Some people don't want to have to take the time. If they can just give it in one place and have that video where they can rewind and check the dividends. I try to get my information to be accurate as possible. Sometimes I do make mistakes because I'm human. I may copy the same data from something and didn't in a haste and hurry and sleepy but I try to double and triple check, but I still make mistakes with that. So I don't want to report any inaccurate information that may go into your decision making, right? I said, thank you, Leo. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I hope that people do find the distribution announcement informative, and I hope I continue to get better and improving in that area, right? I think you and Mike have had some similar sentiments. Mike was talking about I was going to blow up big and all that, but I mean I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the reassurance, because even though that like that video was the roundhill video that we're discussing now was 10 minutes and 31 seconds. It takes a lot more than 10 minutes to prepare a video because the data has to be manually keyed. I do some copy and paste, which makes it a little bit faster, but I probably spend at least 2 hours minimum, and at most sometimes 3 hours just getting those videos together because I got to go in and remove the old data, put in fresh data, key the new data, wait for the dividend announcement uh, to be dropped. Take that data, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, copy that data back because I was doing the math manually with the calculator. And I was like, man, there's got to be a quicker way to doing it. And so I came up with a formula and put it in the Excel sheet, and that allows me to copy and paste it. So the math should be correctly if I don't miscopy something. All right. Kelly said HOOW is going through. It's going through. Uh, it's coming through. He said it's coming through. Yeah. As long as Robinhood, I think HOOW and PLTY and HOOY and PLTW, those two positions, I think. Now I'll say that with Coney Misty when they was on a roll, right? And then after a year, things went the other way, right? But I do think as long as these two underlining, you always have to look at the underlining. Um, RobinHood and Palantir. If those two are doing good, then the ETFs are doing good. So if right now, Hui and Palantir, they've been above that $50 entry price. That's gone up as high as what, 78 or $82 for either one of those positions at one time. And so that's what I'm talking about. So if you got in there at around $50, it dropped to 48, you bought some more, and that baby went to 62 and 78. You could set a stop limit so if it ever drops, because I did see, I believe HWW with Round Hill, it got up to I think $82, and I was like, man, you need to set a stop limit order. And I didn't do it, and then it come. You see now it came all the way down to like 50 something dollars. So had I sold when it was at 80, or had a stop limit to sell at 78, right? I could have captured all the profit. Um, Watch it come down, get to a consolidation state, got back in, still get the monthly or weekly dividends, and ride it back up to its new highs, right? So you capture dividends and capture appreciation on it, but you got to be on it, right? Let's see here. Oh, so I was saying to him, I said yes, but it's down $8.13 in the past 5 days, but overall she's still looking good. Uh, and Round Hill, oh yeah, that's Round Hill ETF. Okay, excuse me. Um, Bone, Barn says you completely out of Yield Max. No, I'm not completely out of Yieldmax. Now, it may look that way in my Robinhood account, as I was stating earlier. You see here, I have this here. This is Grayscale. Then I have this one. This is Bitwise. This is Bitwise version of Coney. This is Grayscale Ethereum, right? And then if we go to my cash position, I have XRP. I have COYY, Granite. None of these are yield max except for these two right here. NVIT, and these are the target 25s. Testing those out, see how they work. But most of my yield max positions are in my Charles Schwab account. Kavana, let's see here. Morrow, Murney, Misty, Platy, SMCY. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions in here that are yield max funds. Counting the other two makes it 8. So if you're listening, I still do have yield max positions, and I have 8 as of right now. Once again, I still do have yield max position. Boom. And at some point, I may get back into some of the ones I have. I definitely am waiting for the 90, I mean, not 90, the 30 days so I don't get a wash sale. Now, I did get back into ICOI, my Robinhood account, and I'm sure that created a wash sale, right? But y'all saw I got what, 13 or $1,400 last week, just having what, a combined total of about 600 shares, I think, of ICOI. So I have some other Bitwise positions that I want to get into. Um, I see some weekly positions that I want to get into because I got to understand I got in way earlier than a lot of you all did in the Yield Max, and the positions that I was getting in was you only had Tesla, OR, Coney, maybe one other position back in the old day. The old day ain't been that long, and so a lot of development has happened with Yield Max and other ETFs. A lot of people, Round Hill, um, Curve, granted shares, a lot of these have say, okay, I see what Yieldmax is doing. I think we can do it and do it better. So it's not so much, yes, the name will remain Yieldmax, but it's the Yieldmax mindset. And what is the mindset? Is that you're trying to get the most money at the cheapest price with the highest yield. Sometimes that just doesn't work out, but it's a mindset of just investing your money, compounding it, growing it, whether it's do high yield ETFs, whether it's do more conservative uh, yield ETFs, or just your traditional stocks that give dividends. So whatever your investment strategy is, I don't knock it. But if I see you do something or you share something with me and it's better and I like it, I'm gonna adopt it some kind of way into my investment strategy. May not be able to do it immediately, but eventually, when I see the results or I see what it could do, I'm gonna get with it. Except for options, right now, I can't do options. I think we only got one video here in our yep, because these were 8 days ago. All right. Well, this was 6 days ago. They replied. He says, I said, you're welcome, informative. Let's see here. No, I do not have a PDF. I actually got it from X. He said, it's all good. I just took a screenshot. I like the idea of being paid every day. So I'm going to do my research. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. I like that list too. And that's something I'm going to, he's talking about, let's see here. He's talking about this. If you all are still watching, he's talking about, I think it was it here. Nope. So it was this one right here. Come on now. So this I got from X, and it shows you on Mondays. Here are potential ETFs that are paying out on Monday, on Tuesday. We know most of these are going to be round hill, right? And some of these are Yieldmax, I'm assuming. On Wednesday, you have these positions that are paying out Wednesday. Thursday, you have these positions that are paying out. And then Friday, you have these positions that are paying out, right? So if you wanted to get paid every single day of the week, you would choose at least a minimum of one from each day of the week, and you will get paid every day. That's another strategy that I'm trying to figure out um, how to incorporate, because I got to figure out which one out of these five that I like. Um, that's one thing I'm going to do. And then I got another thing I'm thinking about. So I still ain't quite figured it out yet. But yeah, so he said he just took a screenshot. So cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's get back to here. Yep. All right. So those were O. So here's the most recent one. Nope. Wrong information. Comments. All right. Bitcoin Jose says, what happened to all the Yieldmax funds, homie? Finally couldn't take it, huh? He said, you finally couldn't take it. No, no, that's not true. I got margin call and I sold to maintain my capital. I probably would have still been in Coney because I would have wanted to see what was going to happen. No, well, I take that back. I really knew what was going to happen with Coney when it was going to do the reverse split. So I was going to stay with Coney. Definitely had they not do a reverse split. Um, Whether I was up or down, if they was going to do it, because I remember, if y'all, I don't know what video I had talked about it, but about this time last year when IWMY or IWMY with the Defiance ETF, I told you all that. Well, I may have not told you all, but when they do a reverse split, they tell you, hey, the dividends are going to double. All right, that is true. The first payment, but then that next payment, that amount is not double. It sort of regrets to what it was paying earlier. So there's where it doesn't. From my experience, it doesn't pay to hold it if it's going to do a reverse split, especially if you are um, only down a small amount. I would probably sell. And if you still want it, get back in after the reverse split or move to another position that's better. But the dividends will pay out high that first payment, double up, but they don't continue to pay that high even though the price is back up because it just don't. I hadn't seen it in those two splits that I've seen, right? So that yeah, I still would have been in Coney, but being that I was down so much in Coney, I had no plans of getting out anytime soon. But yeah, that reverse split was going to mess that up. So, but if that, say it stayed around $10 and they did reverse split, I was going to still be with my Coney. Because if you go back to stock analysis and look at their dividend history on Coney, 2024, Coney was averaging $1.60 a month. And then 2025 happened. I don't know who changed things in 2025, but Coinbase just hasn't been doing what we were expecting to do. Because I think Coinbase did a reverse split. Hold on, let's go to Yahoo. Let's go to Yahoo right quick. Put in because I think they was up at 100 one time, right? I mean not 100, $800 one time. All right, so if you're new here and you don't know how to use Yahoo um, Finance for to figure out reverse splits and all that, you go to historical data. You go here, goes where it says stock split. If you want to see dividends, you could do it here. But I find it quicker when you want to find how much a ETF or dividend is paying out. Just go to stock analysis, right? Key in your symbol, like if we do Coney, for instance. Key in your symbol, come down. It's gonna look like this, right? Go to dividend history right here. I mean dividends, and you can see the history better than going to Yahoo Finance. It's just easier to get to, and it's very readable. All right, let's go back to Yahoo. Yahoo Finance has its purpose. Where are you at? Yahoo. Where you at? Gonna close it right here. All right. All right. So here we go. So you hit splits, right? You got your symbol already in there, and let's just go 5 years, right? So it says no stock split. So let's go to Coney. It should show it for Coney, right? All right. So if you come here and go historical data, come on, Peter. Oh, here we are. All right. So split. Let's go 5 year. And you can see right here it tells you December the 2nd, it did a 1-for-10 stock split. So that's how you find out if a stock has ever did a split or anything like that. I thought Coinbase had, but we do know that what is that? Netflix, right? What's their symbol? All right, so you come here, go to historical data. I said, yep. And you go stock split. You can go max for 5 years. So Netflix has had a stock split. The first one was in February 2004. And then 11 years later, they did another stock split. They did a 7-for-1. And then 10 years later, they did another one, 10-for-1. All right, so that's how you do it. Now, what was I at? All right. All right. Shamar Shamar Taz or Marzizel, whatever. Said he sold it. I did sold the positions that I had in the Robinhood account, right? Cause a margin. But you see, I didn't sell any in the um, cash account in my Charles Schwab account, other than those that I sold to. I think I sold OT, right? I sold Oat and put it in the ICOI, but that was before any reverse split was even mentioned of. All right, Dex, you wash taken. Dex, you was taking. That's what it means. Dex, you was taking. Says cover calls on high beta stock plus 2x leverage equals destruction. I says what it is. I said to him, what that part you stated, I don't understand it. And then Bitcoin dude says I got margin. Um, no, oh, I was replying to him. I said I got margin call. I didn't get a bounce back for almost a month, and so I sold to keep my capital. Um, I said, how in the world did you figure that out? Who told you that? And that was, he said, you sold it. And I was saying, who told you that? How in the world did you figure that out? Laughing out loud. Who told you? I'm just being sarcastic. All right, Dex says, funds like who we sell cover calls on Hood to generate income. Cover calls don't outperform the market, but they hold the same risk, meaning if Hood goes up 50%, Huey will um, with distributions would be up less than 50%, aka it will underperform Hood. But if Hood drops 20%, Huey will drop way more than 20%, and you're risking more while getting less overall, just buying the underlying stock instead of these funds. Hey, everybody's investment strategy is different, but yes, he makes perfect sense. But my thing is set a stop limit order if you're in the ETFs, especially if you're up and you're in profit, right? Like if you're in Hood or Palantir right now, you up, or if you're in GOOY or Yieldmax. People say, oh, hey, all the Yieldmax funds they just suck. That is a lie. Just the ones we got in that was paying the high yields that we like are the ones that are down. Let's see here. This is not the one. This is not the one. Which one is it? Is it the round hill one? Maybe it's the round hill one. Maybe that's what it is. $72. Yep. So like this here, round hill, it's been as low as $49 in the past 52 weeks. It's been as high as 78. So when it's at 78, if you had set a limit order to sell all or half at 71, 72, you take that profit, right? If you got in around the $50 mark, well, you up. It's appreciated. You can sell a portion, sell half or whatever, walk away with that profit, or keep a certain amount and still get dividends. It's just a strategy. Um, so, and yes, all the yield max do not suck. I know a lot of you say that, and I'm not disagreeing with most of you, but here's some that are doing okay. Biggie, uh, Chippy, whatever you want to call it. This one, Corvana, I think Dre's doing all right. Febe, Feet, um, this one, um, Hui, um, these two are new. Uh, Palette Play T, I think these two are doing what is it, Roblox and Reddit. So some of these are not doing as bad as all people are saying. Yes, you're missing Coney. Those are probably the biggest. And some of the others are probably down 10, 20%, but they're holding, right? I don't want them simply because I'm looking for the highs and chasing highs here. That's why I was in Coney Misty. All right. But if I had achieved certain, or if I was in a certain place in my investment journey, I would probably go with Biggie because it's paying consistency. Feet is paying pretty decent, even though it's down. Chippy is paying pretty decent. You always got these two that are paying, a little consistent. They're not, you know, you just got to figure it out. We all do. He says, I think Yieldmax is a very bad fund. Hopefully, you will soon see some outcry cause how bad all these produce are. Hey, if you don't like Yieldmax, you don't like Yieldmax, there's always these other funds out here, that I've always mentioned. If you go back and watch some of my other videos, I showed you Round Hill, right? Round Hill, that's one. I've showed you Bitwise. Boom. Here's another one. I've showed you Rec Shares. Boom. AIPI, CEPI. Boom. If you don't like those, I showed you Defiance. Now, Defiance to me are probably the worst. I checked back in with them. I guess I left them like some of you all are leaving Yieldmax. uh, you got Neos. Neos is probably the probably one of the best ones out there. Neos and Curves. Uh, for those that won't, I like some of these too. I like BTCI. I like their treasuries over here. I like those. All right. The only reason I didn't get in some of these is just because I'm wanting more paid out. I'm willing to take the risk to get it. All right. You got Curve. Curve was one of the ones everybody was going to. Yeah, these are the ones, but you don't really hear anybody talking about Curve, right? And they pretty solid. You don't get a lot of appreciation, but they do appreciate. They pay a pretty decent dividend, but you're not hearing people talk about it. You got Granite Shares, you got Yield Boost. So just to name a few. Now some more have come online too. All right, I says Dex you was taking. Okay, that's what you meant. That I do understand. I am aware of it. I have Hood, the underlining, and I've owned the ETF also. I likely will continue to use a combination of both. I would say the things about owning I would say the thing about owning both the Robinhood ETF is that you can continue to get monthly or weekly dividends from each of them. My problem was that I didn't set a stop loss order so that when these funds do come near my cost average, it would kick me out. You can actually use both the monthly dividends position and the actual underlying stock to be very profitable. But if I didn't set a stop limit order to kick me out when it was near that price and I continued to hold, and that's when she went down 20 and 30%. Sometimes you fall in love with position. As Kenny Gray says, don't fall in love with the play. You get your money, you get in, you get out. I said, thank you for sharing. Disagree that I do disagree with you about buying and underlining, but I also want nice. I said I don't disagree with you buying the underlining, but I also want nice yield ETF at the same time. I just got to get better at executing on things I know to do and should do. I replied to Bitcoin. I says Yieldmax do have funds that are maintaining and doing pretty good with the NAV. It's just that everybody went after the high yield paying ETFs funds and the underlying stocks wasn't performing as it was before. For example, Coney and Misty in 2024. Under different leadership in 2025, they haven't done so well. I think we as investors have to figure out a better way to play these and use it to our advantage. I says I'm still figuring it out and getting better at it, hopefully. Oh, he's replied to me. Uh he says, Dex, I gotta say that right. Dex, you was taken. He says, the distributions are not dividends. If the stock doesn't go up, the funds cannot pay you the big monthly payment. So they sell the underlying to make the distribution. That's why Hood is down while Hood is flat in the last 3 months. Yep, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But I still want those dividends. You can do both. And you just gotta learn how to play the game. I mean, that's just me. No one's gotta do like I do. I'm gonna make it work. I believe I will. I'm hoping I will. All right, let's see here. All right, so this is gonna be it right here. Do we have anything? All right, he says Coney is really disappointing me. I said Coney hasn't performed because Coinbase hasn't been performing in 2025 as it did in 2024. And of course, on the website, they state that they will capture 15% of the upside and all the downside. This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. When these things are good, they're good, and when they're bad, they're horrible. It's a long term, I still had hope that Coney would recover, but when they did that reverse split, that messed things up because after the reverse split, the first dividends will double, but thereafter it'll pay what it was paying probably before, and that's where you lose out. All right, so we got what, a couple weeks left of this month, right? So hopefully we can get some up track in the market, some consistency. It's just so much turbulence. I mean, the slightest negative could shoot things down. The slightest positive could run them up. There just isn't any steady consistency in the market as it has been in time before, because there's just so much news and information that shift. Everybody's on pins and needles and waiting to move at the speed of light. Um, but I'm hoping I can get some stability in my investment strategy going forward. Um, I hope I can figure this thing out, and I hope I can listen to the voice of the Lord, and He can lead and guide me on what to do, and that I don't get impatient. But sometimes I guess I don't hear correctly, right? All right, so you all be blessed. I wish you all the best in your investments. Try not to lose your money. Try to make it work for you and compound. Um, yeah, that's all I got. I'm out.